Hey everybody, it's Gail. I am doing this video to do an update on the Knitpick situation. I'm a little soft-boiled because we are in a heat wave, so if I get a little mealy mouth, bear with me. I've been trying to get this video made for about 40 minutes, and I'm gonna try to get through it all the way this time, and I'm really hoping. So I do have some notes in front of me, but I will be talking about Knitpicks contacting me on Instagram. I will be showing you those emails and DMs and doing a dramatic reading. Not like a super dramatic reading, just, reading them aloud. I made a very small video the day after posting my long video about Knitpicks. Like I said, soft-boiled. They claimed on Ravelry that they only just heard about this carpet beetle problem, and somebody on Ravelry fucking slapped him in the face and said, no, you didn't. Here's a post from 9 months ago. I'm going to reference that, so I wanted you to know that that had happened. By the way, if you go down to the basement under the video, there is a link to a Google Doc that has copies of the emails, copies of every comment I've left on their Instagram posts, and the link to the post from 9 months ago on Reddit that said I found bugs in my yarn, and then screen caps of the Ravelry conversation where Knitpicks was like, this is the first I'm hearing about it. I don't include a link to the Ravelry group because you have to have an account on Ravelry in order to see that stuff. And so I don't consider that to be a 100% public forum like Reddit is. Like, you can just Google it for Reddit. But like, the name of the group is Knitpicks Lovers, and I've got the dates and everything on the screenshot, so if you want to confirm for yourself, you can do that. Alright, let's just hop in. So, first of all, real quick, I want to make a correction from the last video that does not affect any of the major details that we're discussing, nor does it affect the fact that Knitpicks has a carpet beetle infestation that they continue to lie about. It appears that it is the Columbus, Ohio warehouse. I've had several people confirm that to me. So if you're getting your stuff from Murray, Utah, you're likely safe. I would double check it just to be sure. Just, super duper double check it situation. But it looks like Columbus, Ohio is the problem warehouse. That being said, the incorrect information I had in the last video, connecting threads and superior threads, I said I thought they were embroidery companies. That was incorrect. They are quilting supply companies. And then I said that Premier Yarn was the store brand for Joann's. That was also incorrect. The store brand for Joann's was Big Twist. And I just wanted to correct those. I don't think that these corrections are so big I need to redo the whole first video, but I am very determined if I'm going to do this kind of video where I'm talking about unethical business practices and like this history of Knitpicks bullshitting all of us. I want to correct when I make a mistake, even if it's comparatively a very minor mistake. So there you go. Alright, so I stuck by what I said. I have my Google Doc open in front of me, by the way, so when I'm looking this way, that's what I'm looking at, and then I've got my notes, so if I'm looking down, just so you know. I stuck by my self-made promise to comment on every Knitpicks post that they put up on Instagram, and about, hold on, I think it was like 3 or 4 in, they got twitchy and reached out to me, and what I got was a DM from someone at the company. I will not be releasing the name of this person because it doesn't matter. This is not an individual at the company being shitty. This is the company as a whole being shitty. And I think it's important to keep the focus on that. But if you have received your form letter from Knitpicks about the infestation, that's what this is. If you have not seen the form letter, this is what it is. I've seen several people say that they've gotten this. And I want you to think about the fact that me, literally basically no one on Instagram, like, I don't have a huge following on Instagram or here. I just broke 500 followers here on YouTube last month. And that was awesome for me. And I'm now up to 600 something because a bunch of you have come to see the Knitpicks video and decided you wanted to check me out, and I appreciate that very much. But, like, I didn't make the Instagram reel or the YouTube video to do anything more than, like, tell the people I could reach what the problem was. And I really expected them, after the first couple of times I commented, to just block me and move on, because I'm nobody. I'm not a knitting or crocheting or fiber artist influencer that has the kind of following where blocking me is going to mean anything to the overall ecosystem. You know what I mean? So the fact that, like, 3 posts in, they reached out to me and gave me a personal email address that's a choice. But I want to read you this letter if you haven't seen it before. Everything I'm reading you is also in the Google Doc. So this is I got this on July 7th. Hi, Gail. Thank you so much for reaching out. As fellow knitters and crocheters, we took the report of a potential bug issue very seriously and immediately brought in professional pest control to conduct a full inspection of our warehouse. First of all, whether you're fellow knitters or crocheters doesn't mean shit. It just doesn't. But that's meant to be like, we're with you. We're your friends. We've got this together. Potential bug issue is a real interesting phrase when it was someone getting a hold of you saying there's eggs and larvae and carpet beetles, like adult carpet beetles. That is in the post from 9 months ago. It's down below the emails in this. The Google Doc is in reverse chronological order. So it's the latest stuff I've done is up top. Carrying on. We're happy and relieved, ! Shove it. To share that the inspection revealed no live bugs or larvae of any kind in our facility. Put a pin in that. But even so, we're not taking any chances. We've already added extra preventative measures to ensure every skein that leaves our doors meets our high standards we set for our yarns and for our awesome community like you. We're deeply passionate about natural fibers. I don't care. I don't care about your passion for the craft. If you actually had passion for the craft that was driving your decisions, you wouldn't be screwing over your customers. And while we love plants and animals, we definitely don't want them showing up uninvited in our packaging! You can shove that one too. Like, I don't want this cutesy bullshit. All right, I am talking to you about an ongoing ethics issue in your company. This is not an oopsie daisy. Okay? You have shit the bed and continue to do so without changing the sheets. That is what is happening. Your peace of mind truly matters to us. And we're so grateful you took the time to raise your concerns. Scrolling to the second part of this. Here it goes. So it turns out I got most of it in the first screenshot. I didn't realize that when I took it. Good for me. And then please email me directly with the email. Now here's the thing. I know how I talk on my channel. I actually, at the bottom of the last video, had someone go, you can explain facts without foul language. No, I can't. I don't want to. That's why my channel is set up the way that it is. I talk the way I talk, and if I had to edit myself down in order to not swear on the internet, I wouldn't have a channel, because I want to be myself, and I don't think there's anything wrong with swearing as like a thing. If you don't personally like it, I understand that. I'm not the channel for you. Please go forth, find someone else. But I seem to be the only person who's really got my teeth in this thing, so if you don't like me saying they shit the bed, you're gonna have to just be a grown-up and deal with it. But I'm saying all of that because the thing is, I actually am very, very good at professional email and like professional language and all of that. I can do that if I want to. It's just on my YouTube channel I don't want to. So my reply, I sent an email, and I said, "Hi, redacted. I received your message on Instagram. It appears you've sent me the same form letter that customers have been getting for a while, and I understand that. Customer service scripts are common. They are very common. I don't have a problem with the fact that they have a form letter. It's just the letter itself is shit. You know what I mean? Like, my issue is that you're claiming that preventative measures have been taken, but as recently as June 26th, the customer posted in your Ravelry group, Knitpicks Lovers, and stated they received an order from your summer sale with a clear infestation. By the way, several other people have stated they have found signs of infestation in their yarn orders from their most recent orders from the last couple of weeks. So if you have an order incoming, be very careful. Where was I? Give me just a moment here. Here it is. In that group, your rep stated that this was the first KP had heard about an infestation. But there are several posts on Reddit going back at least 9 months that make it clear customers who have found bugs have contacted Knitpicks about the problem and received refunds for those orders. And this is really important. When this first started happening, Knitpicks was giving out refunds. Now I know of at least one person who is trying to get them to respond to the fact that she found signs of infestation in her yarn and they're not answering her emails or her Instagram messages. Great job, guys. You're doing, yeah, this will totally be swept under the rug if you just decide it didn't happen now. Clearly you haven't met me. It appears from everything I have seen that there has been no effort on the part of Knitpicks to provide any information to their customer base to protect them from a possible infestation due to the issue at the warehouse. Again, Columbus, Ohio. It's the Columbus, Ohio warehouse. If I am wrong and have missed a public statement that was on your socials or in your newsletter, please correct me. I didn't really know how to find out if Knitpicks had said anything outside of doing some Google searches, and so I wanted to give them the chance to be like, actually, yes, we have this newsletter copy that shows that we brought it up in some sort of way to as many of our customers as possible. Spoiler alert, they didn't send back anything like that. I will be happy to share the information with the people who are now watching my Instagram to see if anything is being done in the public sphere. So basically, if they had come back and said, oh yeah, we have a newsletter from December where we talk about the fact that it might be happening and give tips on how to deal with it if you think it's happening in your house, I would have told you guys. I would have made a new YouTube video. I would have put it on Instagram. Would have been like, hey, I said they didn't say anything publicly. I was wrong. And then I would have said they should keep talking about it publicly, which is a different issue. But tried to give them the chance. As of now, it appears KP has done everything it can to cover up an ongoing and serious infestation issue, and then whatever preventative measures you claim to have put into place are failing. The continued refusal by the company to make a public statement is not just troubling, but frankly unethical. Sincerely, blah, blah. On July 8th, I put another post on their, I put another comment on their Instagram post asking when is Knitpicks going to publicly explain to its customer base that 1, there is a bug infestation in a warehouse, and 2, what steps they've taken to better protect their product in the future, and 3, how they're going to gain back trust after knowingly sending out bug-infested yarn to their customers for 9 months. I think these are perfectly valid questions to ask a company that says it gives a shit. Literally 10 or 15 minutes after putting that comment up, dude was back in my inbox. And that timing may have been coincidental. Personally, I don't think it is. Hi, Gail. Thanks again for following up. We truly appreciate it when members of our community raise concerns. We are a small team of knitters and crocheters here at Knitpicks, and we take these things seriously. I had to do a lap after reading that, because don't do this emotional appeal shit to me. I am coming to you as a customer with concerns about your business practices. Don't turn this into, we're a small group of people like you. No, you're not like me, because you've been covering this up for 9 months. Like, would it be fun to have to own up to it publicly and deal with it? No, but you're in business. Fucking do it. Like, if they had come out 9 months ago and said, hey, we had a customer reach out, found this problem, here's the schedule of inspections we have, here are the preventative measures we're going to take to do better, please, stick by us as we figure this out, I would be so charitable right now, because that's all I want. If there is a problem at a business that I am loyal to, and I've been loyal to Knitpicks for a long time, I want them to be honest with me. And the thing is, in my experience, actual small businesses that last want to be honest with you. Places pretending to be small businesses when they are owned by an umbrella firm or was owned by a private equity firm don't actually want to be honest with you. And I know several of you were saying, they're never going to say anything publicly. They don't care. Like, yeah, I'm idealistic. I'm not an idiot. The thing is, when I made my list of demands in the first video, it was under the assumption they would never acknowledge me. And yet, one asshole with 5 minutes every time a post goes up, and I posted maybe 4 comments, and here they are in my inbox. I mean, it's not really hard to be the thorn in the side of a bunch of people who know they're fucking up. It's really not a difficult task. If you want to do it. You have to want to do it. I want to. Where was I? Oh, yes. Fuck your emotional appeal. Once we became aware of a potential issue, thanks to folks like you, it wasn't a potential issue. A potential issue would be, hey, I opened my packaging and I noticed that there were these little dots in the yarn that I think are eggs. Eggs are a potential issue. If it's like a couple. It wasn't a couple. It was enough to get somebody to call you when looking at their yarn. That is an issue. We brought in professional pest control for multiple inspections. How many inspections? What days did they do inspections? What were the rules for those inspections? Which parts of the warehouse did they check? How well did they check? Did they leave anything to indicate an idea of how bad the infestation might actually be? Because that's the thing. If you call in pest control because you think you might have a problem, they will look around for signs of the problem. They will tell you, hey, I think the problem is this big. And then they will do a few things to be like, let's double check. I trust you. I promise you, a good pest control company would have gone in, looked around at their stuff, and been able to give them an idea of how bad it was, which they could have shared with us. But also, what's this multiple inspection shit? Because you claimed you closed the warehouse and did one inspection in 24 hours. So, that's interesting. Still, we added preventative measures out of caution. What are they? How do they differ from what you used to do? So what this is, preventative measures like this are something known as a standard operating procedure, an SOP. I've written them several times for different companies. These measures, most of the time, have no proprietary information in them. And for a warehouse situation, an SOP with these kind of preventative measures, because you have found an infestation, should be very, very easy to share. There are going to be no trade secrets. There's not going to be any secret, Knitpicks warehouse only stuff that they have to do. So they should be able to provide a list very easily about what those measures are. Those should be written down somewhere so that they can be shared with people when asked. That is the point of writing your shit down. We added preventative measures out of caution and are now working with our shipping partners to check for any issues that could arise after packages leave our warehouse. What a way to pass the fucking buck. No, we totally did everything we possibly can, and so maybe it's the shipping, the shipping partner that's causing it. Maybe they have a carpet beetle infestation in all the cardboard boxes that are sealed in their truck when carpet beetles don't eat cardboard. Okay. And I know at one point they were claiming it was springtail beetles who do eat wet cardboard. And my question there is, why are so many, if it was springtails, it never was. Like, from what I can tell, it never was. It was always carpet beetles. If it was springtails, why were so many of your boxes getting wet? Like, that's weird. And why were they only getting wet at the Columbus warehouse? Like, lots of questions. Do you have a roof leak? But yeah, this passing the buck to like, oh, we're checking with our shipping partners because it can't be us. It's not your shipping partners. If the problem was that the carpet beetles were somehow in the UPS trucks or the FedEx trucks or the USPS trucks, there would be an ongoing infestation for all kinds of stuff, not just Knitpicks yarn. If you have suggestions for other steps we should consider, I'm happy to pass them along. And if you'd like to place a test order to see the improvement yourself, we'd be glad to help with that. So, in order for me to even see the improvements you've made, to have you maybe even tell me anything about them, I have to give you money. No, see, this is not place a test order and you'll see. This is, hey, we're going to explain ourselves to you right now and not try to get fucking money out of you. Like, fuck you. So I responded that same day with the hey, it's Editing Gale, so I just realized while I was rewatching the bit about the test order that likely that would have been free product. That's a pretty good guess, I would say, based on how companies tend to handle stuff like this. Here's the thing, even not paying money, nothing about what they do or say to show me how they would set up the product and keep it safe is in any way provable as like what they actually do when they're not trying to get someone to stop talking publicly about how they've been lying to people for months. And I think that's always very important to remember. Like, if someone's like, oh my god, they sent me a whole video about what they do every time they get an order. Do they really do that every time? Because if they did it every time and this is supposed to be stopping the problem, why does the problem continue to persist? Onward. Following. The size of your team does not have anything to do with the choices you have made as a company in terms of the unethical choice to hide this infestation from your customers. 9 months ago, you were contacted by a customer who found signs of infestation in their yarn, link, and refunded that order. You have since refunded other orders with bugs in them and then acted surprised when a person in your Ravelry group, link to that, said their yarn was also infested at the end of June 2025. So keep in mind, 9 months ago was October. And on Reddit, when it says just like how many months ago it was, if you hover over that, it will give you the date it was published. It was October that the person who posted, I found bugs in my yarn and Knitpicks refunded me. So October, they were told there is an issue. We are being told on a direct message and email from July 7th and July 8th to 2025 that they have totally fixed the problem. That there is no longer a problem. That there were no signs of infestation when they did the inspections, and they have put preventative measures in place just in case. But then, on June, I gotta scroll down, give me a second here, because it's near the bottom, because like I said, it's reverse order here. On June 26, 2025, someone in the Knitpicks lovers community said, "Got infestation in my yarn." And Knitpicks said, "Oh my god, we've never heard about this before." So you did know about it, you claim you did all this shit about it, but now you're telling someone in June that, oh no, we've never heard about this before. This don't add up. Okay? That horse don't trot. That's not how this works. And coming back up, let me get back to the rest of my email here. When are you going to publicly discuss the issue, apologize to your customer base, and explain how your new SOPs will protect their yarn orders in the future? You not only put people in danger of infestation through your unwillingness to admit to your warehouse issues, you have also knowingly sent out subpar products that could be weakened by having been chewed on by the insects in the warehouse. It was real hard not to just have the rest of my email be fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Okay, I can be professional, it's not always easy. If you are a dedicated group of knitters and crocheters, why have you chosen to be silent and evasive when the issue has been brought to your attention repeatedly over the last several months? You've had many chances to take proper responsibility and create a dialogue with your customers, and you chose instead to try and cover up the truth while still taking people's money and pretending everything was fine. This behavior is unethical, and if Knitpicks won't do the right thing and admit fault in a way that would actually be beneficial to its customer base as a whole, via social media posts, newsletter, emails, or an announcement on the site itself, no polite emails to me or anyone else at your company are going to convince me to stop letting people know what you don't want to tell them. Sincerely, me. He has not written back. So was that 5 days? Yeah, so I wrote that on the 8th, and it is now July 14th. I have not heard back. I don't expect to hear back. I have continued to post on their Instagram, repeatedly asking when they're going to say something. They've not replied to any of those. Some people have liked them. More and more people are finding my reel, or people are finding the YouTube post. Somebody put it on Reddit, and that was terrifying, but also thank you. I want that to happen, okay? I want you guys to share this information. And I want to address something else really quickly while I'm looking at all of this. So if you want, I need to copy and paste the links from the first YouTube video into this document, which I will do before I post this video, because I want you to have all of those in an easy way to find them. Because there's some stuff that I've mentioned here that is not, those links are not listed on the in the Google Doc I'm putting together now, and they should be. But what I want to talk about now, hold on, I'm sitting in a weird direction, so my head's not cut off at the top of frame. I want to talk about the fact I've had a few different people who have watched the video or watched the reel, who have said, well, infestations are a normal thing. Like, insect infestations happen, like you just have to deal with them. No. Fucking no. I've been crocheting regularly for 21 years. And I know that because I really got back into it again the same month I met my husband. So I remember the date. I remember the year. It was 2004. I crochet anywhere between 20 and 40,000 yards a year. It's closer to 40,000 the last couple of years. But when I say to people, I crochet more than you, I'm joking, but I'm not joking. Okay? I am stitching constantly. I am leaning against a half-finished sweater right now that I'm going to pick up and keep working on as soon as I'm done with this video. I can see 2 more projects in front of me. I literally just went through my yarn stash because we are moving in 6 weeks because I got a new job. Yay. And I'm deciding how many small projects I can knock out before we go, okay? I crochet more than you. I have more yarn in my house than you. I promise you, infestations do not just happen and are not something you just deal with. Because I have ordered from all over the place in the last 21 years, including Knitpicks, since, according to my email receipts, my first order was in 2017. I think it was probably earlier than that, but I didn't make an account for a while. But 2017, so 8 years. 8 years I've been ordering from Knitpicks. I've never had a problem. I have ordered from huge companies. I've ordered from Hirschner's. I've ordered from, used to order from Joanne, RIP. I've ordered from Yarnspirations. I've ordered from all the big houses. I've ordered from a lot of independent spinners and dyers. Never once in 21 years have I had bugs come into my house via yarn. And I use wool, I use silk, I use a lot of natural fibers. Never once. Not moths, not beetles of any kind, not ants, nothing. So do not sit here in my comments, look me in the eye and say, oh, these things just happen. No, they fucking don't. When the independent dyers who make it in their kitchen spin it in their living room because they sheared the sheep out in the barn can send me yarn and I can just work with it and never have an issue, Knitpicks should not be having this issue. That is what it comes down to. And what most likely happened is they got lazy about doing their pest control inspections. And what happens when you're lazy about getting pest control in? When you have a warehouse, you get more pests. Like, I feel like everybody knows this, but also I have to remember not everybody knows everything and that I know. And that's so if you don't know, if you've never been in a warehouse situation, never really thought about it, warehouses tend to work with the doors open any day that it's nice. So if it's even half decent out, the bay doors are open. And bay doors are giant garage doors. So, like, first of all, you do have pests in your warehouse. Most warehouses don't have carpet beetles. But pests in the warehouse are a totally normal thing. Ants, spiders, wasps, bees. You know, like, anything that can fly or crawl into a warehouse is going to do that. I worked at a warehouse where one of the guys would come and show me the weird bugs he found. Okay, it's a fact of life. It's not a moral judgment, and it is not saying that Knitpicks has a particularly shitty warehouse to say that there were bugs in there. But the other thing is that they say that there's no pests, and again, I understand customer service speak. You're not going to try to explain the nuances of every warehouse is going to have pests, and 99% of the time, those pests don't fucking matter. They're pests in the sense that you might get stung, or you might get freaked out. They're not pests in the sense that they're going to hurt your product. To be told by customers, I found larvae and eggs in my yarn, and then to turn around and tell customers, we looked into it, and we had no pests. Yes, you did. Because somebody found it in your yarn. Like, it just, I don't understand. I understand on the one hand, because 9 months ago, they probably went, okay, we'll do an inspection, it won't be that big of a deal. And then, as more emails came in, and more calls came in, they went, well, we can't admit it now. We didn't admit it in the first place. And I hate people who do business like this. Just eat the crow and deal with it like a fucking adult, okay? Because I said it before and I'll say it again. If you had just admitted to it when it first happened and been transparent with your customer base, people are loyal to their yarn. And people who stitch understand shit happens. I didn't know we had mice at an old place until I picked up a skein of yarn and a whole bunch had been chewed off the bottom. It happens. Like, but it is the refusal to even admit it. Not even in that email, not even in the form email did they admit it. We found no pests. There were no pests. Yes, there were. We have these new preventative measures just in case. What are they? How do they work? How do they differ from your previous measures? How are they an improvement? They won't tell us. So yeah, that's the update I have. And I don't know if there's going to be other updates from this point. I have a couple of things I'm sort of tracking down to see where they go. They may go nowhere, and if they go nowhere, you're not going to see another video. But of course, I said on the last one, probably not a second video, and here we are, not even 2 weeks later. I would be okay with it being quiet, because we are having to move across the country really quickly because of my job. Very excited about it. And I'm letting you know that for those of you who knew that I was unemployed for a little while. And before you say it, yes, that is one of the reasons I had the time to get up their ass about this. But now that I'm here, I'm gonna stay. I like the occasional fight, basically. Do I think I'll win this fight? It's not really about winning. It's about fighting the fight so people can see that it's happening. It's about being loud about something because the actions of the other party are wrong. And they are trying to hide that from people, and I got a real problem with that. So, if you want to help me out, tell everybody you know. Make Instagram posts about it, do reels about it, put it on your various social medias, talk about it on Reddit, talk about it any, private Discords or whatever. Like, just be loud about it with me. Because the number one thing that we can do to stop this bullshit is to loudly tell people about the bullshit. Which is why I'm doing it. Okay, yeah, that's everything I have. I am around regular posting schedule. I've actually, after I get this up, I'm editing the other August videos. And just a quick heads up, I will explain why in the 5th Friday video in August, but I'm not posting in September. Partly because my hands are making that weird creaking noise in the morning. But also now I know that, I gotta pack my shit. And we have a lot of stuff. Like, you can see this art behind me. This is a smattering of how much art is at my house. Okay, I'm gonna stop rambling. God, this heat, man. And get out of here and let you go. Thank you for checking in again or checking in for the first time. I will have a link to the first video at the end of this video and also down in the basement, so you have the super easy way to get a hold of it. And like I said, there's a Google Doc with all this information if you want it. Do whatever you want with it. You can credit me if you want. I don't really care. The more people talking about this, the better. And I will see you when I see you.